Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Che Guerrero's Stand Up 101 graduation show. If I could just ask everyone to come off of video, but keep yourself on mute for right now. We have to go over a few housekeeping items. I am the founder of Off Mic Comedy School. I am also a stand-up comedian. I took my very first class with Che, who is the instructor and host for tonight, and we will get to talking about Che in just a moment. But again, this is Off Mic Comedy School. You're probably here to see a friend or a relative or someone in your network, or maybe you're an off mic student, whoever you are. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We're super, super excited. We have a bunch of comics who are going to do their debut stand-up sets. And as of my last check, we have 62 people who purchased tickets to be here tonight. That is incredible for a Zoom show and definitely for a debut for all of these folks. So super, super excited. Before we get into the big kind of major portion of the show, I do want to run through a few things. Housekeeping. We already went over number one, welcome. Number two, please be kind, no heckling. So heckling on a Zoom show means two things. One, we absolutely 1000% welcome everyone to use the chat to say great job, to write a LOL at somebody's joke, to talk about where you're from, what you're drinking tonight, what you're doing. So please, please, please feel free to use the chat. Be kind though. Anyone who uses anything that crosses the line will be removed. You're all adults, use your best judgment. Heckling also means though, being conscientious of the accidental things that happen because this is Zoom and you're at home with your pets, your kids, your dishwasher, et cetera, et cetera. If you have any sort of background noise, please mute. Otherwise, feel free to be off mute, laughing, enjoying yourself, but please do not make noise because it's very distracting when we're trying to do a virtual show. Have a lot of fun. We're super excited that you are all here. And last but not least, this should probably go without saying, but this is a stand-up comedy show, which means that there will, and hopefully, in my opinion, will be some adult content. This is definitely intended for 18 plus. Anyone younger, please use your best judgment. I also wanted to talk very briefly before we get into the meat of the show about the classes that we offer. So we started as a little tiny pipe dream back in August. We were like, hey, we'll try a few courses and see what happens. And now with our winter semester coming up, we are exploding. And that's thanks to all of these amazing students who wanted to learn a new skill, take a risk, be vulnerable during the pandemic. It makes me super, super proud. We have tons of stuff coming up. If you want to try stand up like the folks tonight, we have 2 101s coming up in January. That's how you start off. You would get to do a class show just like the folks you're going to see tonight. We also just introduced comedy for youth. So we actually have improv junior for ages 7 through 12 and stand-up comedy for teens, a great way to channel that pandemic energy into something fun and performative and productive. And then there are a bunch of other workshops down below, including if you would like to learn how to produce a comedy show just like this. We also offer a workshop in January for that. Attendees for the show get 15% off any course or workshop with the promo code SHOW15 that you see up there on the upper right. That expires at the end of December, so use it or lose it. We'd love to see some of you there. Without further ado, I want to introduce a person who is extremely special to me, again, because he was my stand-up instructor and launched my own comedy journey. He's an amazing person, a great partner, parent, friend, and really, really excited that he was one of the first instructors to join Off Mic when we started this little experiment back in August. He'll be your host for tonight. And he's really special to me. So please give a very warm welcome. Feel free to come off mute and please give it up for the wonderful Che Guerrero.
Hey.
Woo!
Woo! Thank you. Oh my God, I'm seeing so many beautiful people. This is awesome. Before I get into my spiel and my jokes, I really want to thank Christine for doing this. That was actually really sweet. I want a clip of that to send to my mother and be like, see, people think I'm something. Anyways, starting there. But I love it. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that you started this and that the journey has come to this. You're doing amazing, all of you. And yeah, this is exciting. I'm nervous. All of my students have been working so hard for the last 8 weeks, and I know they're all nervous, but I gotta tell them, like, you guys don't have to be nervous. Remember, I am the only one who's being judged tonight. I am the only one that has to. Do you understand that not only is this the first class, but like I'm the person who taught the person who started this and all of you. So it's a lot of pressure on me to be like, hey, is this guy worth the big hype that she just gave? All right, so let's see. I'm high. That's where I'm starting. All right. I am smoking weed. I'm in a state that is legal starting January 21st, but for me, it's been legal since like 2017. So whatever. They just need to catch up to me. I love smoking weed. This happened to me once. I went to a bar when it was all open, very high. And behind the bar, there was a sign. And the sign simply read, "Attention staff, DJ equipment is dead, management." Now, most people would have been like, oh, the DJ equipment is broken. But I was so high that I thought DJ equipment was the name of the DJ that worked there. And I just thought that was like the shittiest way of telling people the coworker had just died. I was like, really? Y'all can't even put a picture of DJ equipment? Like, we have lost a great one. Yo, I was so high. I was so high that I started feeling sorry for DJ equipment. Like, was it sad? Was it sudden? Was it cancer? Like, what happened? Right? I was so high. I went up to this girl that worked there. And I was like, oh, excuse me, miss. I don't mean to bother you. But what was DJ equipment's real name? And super confused, this lady's just like, Toshiba? And I was like, great, a Japanese DJ. Awesome. And I just kept giving up to Toshiba. Yeah, that was when things were open. I was smoking outside, and I'm smoking in my house. And what was I'm smoking so much, I forgot what my next joke was. I'm in college. That was my next joke. That's probably not good. People were always like, how are you bettering yourself during quarantine? I'll be real with you. I when it first happened, I signed up for college and I've been sticking to it. But I'm 32 and this is my first time ever trying college. And I don't know if anybody here has gone to college as like an adult for the first time, but yo, you take that shit personal. Like as a kid, like if you failed the test, you'd be like, whatever, I'll do a makeup. Like when I fail something, like yo, I'm like, yo, my kids are gonna like starve. Like that's how serious. Like, you know what I do? I get pissed off every time I get an answer wrong. Like if I'm doing calculus and the answer is 2, but I put -2, and they're like, "Oop, that's 5 points off." I want to find the nerd who came up with that exam, right, and choke him. Like, you think some joke, homie? You gonna dock me 5 points because of a negative? I got kids. Like that's how I act every day during school. I'm glad it's all digital because I would be like, okay, I don't know if it's gonna make sense to y'all, but like. The thing I hate the most about tests is that like, you know the answer, right? And I hate the way that tests try to fool you. You know, where they would switch like a little thing. They'd be like, it's not above, it's below. Oops, -5. Life doesn't fuck with you like that. You know the answer, and every day it's the same answer. You never come down from upstairs to your kitchen one morning and life like, ooh, which one of these is your girlfriend? A, B, C, or D, all of the above. And you're like, oh, I'm so confused. I thought I knew. No, you know the answer. All the above. That was the answer. Okay, sorry. That's the option. You always pick it, guys. Remember. Yeah, but I am in quarantine with like my girlfriend. I'm not the only one trying to better myself with education. My partner, she's like, hey, look, you know, now that we're together for so long, like I want you to teach me Spanish because I speak Spanish. And I was like, you know what, bet. I have a skill. I'm going to show you. That's what we're going to do. So we have a balcony and we were outside in our balcony and we saw a duck. And she was like, hey, how do you say duck in Spanish? And I was like, pato, which actually, I hate to say this, is actually, unfortunately, it's a derogatory term that we use to describe gay men. So I don't like using that word. She's like, oh, that sucks. And then she saw a bird. And she was like, what's that? And I was like, it's pájaro, which is also a derogatory term that we use for gay men. And that's when I realized that the Spanish culture is so about toxic masculinity that anything that flies, we're just like, gay? Why? Why is that? It's defying gravity. It's beautiful. We should just love it. Why is it gay? Yeah. By that logic, why do Spanish dudes even take planes? Like, we shouldn't even ever be on a plane now. I could just picture every like kid calling their dad and be like, Dad, you should take a plane and come visit me. And the dad's like, me on a plane? Listen. I'm not gonna be in the sky near clouds, putting nuts in my mouth. Mijo. I don't know how San Francisco has changed you, but I will walk to you like a man. And that's just how all Spanish dads should be all the time. All right, that is my time. That's what I had for you guys. Did you like that? Oh, you're so kind. Oh, I love it. I love seeing so many faces. I missed this. I missed the real thing, but you guys are really helping me get as close to it as possible. That was my time. On that note, I'm not gonna take up any more of yours. I want to bring up your friends, your family, your classmates, all that. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring up your first comic of the night. Super funny. If I had to give a trophy out for like most improved, shy at the beginning but really shine through, I'm really proud to see her like step up and come up first tonight. So without further ado, please keep a big round of applause for your first comic of the night, Storm Wilkins.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining us this evening. We're here to have some fun, and I got to tell you guys, I need to have some fun. For those of you who don't know me, my job is that awesome, amusing combination of professor and insurance lawyer. Yeah, I need to have some fun. I mean, I give presentations like, oh, the Pandemic Risk Insurance Act of 2020 is modeled after, I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, you see what I mean? So because of that, I need to have some fun. Let's face it, this year has not been fun. You know what hasn't been fun lately? Race riots, the pandemic, Facebook. This year, I had to take a 3-month hiatus from Facebook. I was like, why in the heck am I having a political Facebook fight with my cousin's hairdresser, sister's racist bikini waxer? When I got off of Facebook, I got to be honest, at first, I had a little bit of withdrawal. You know, I had some shakes, but the cravings and the shakes subsided. And I found some other more productive things to do. Like Shay's partner, I decided to learn some Spanish. So I got on a Spanish app, and now I can say, me lavo los dientes después de las comidas. I don't know when I'm going to be able or need to say that I brush my teeth after meals, but I'm ready. And it seems like just, I don't know, a better use of my time than explaining to my cousin's hairdresser sister's bikini waxer that she's a flippin' idiot. But anyway, this pandemic, it hasn't been fun. It's been tough. So we all have to support one another. I've been doing my part in supporting the frontline cooks. I mean, a little bit the frontline workers, but I gotta be honest, the food delivery people, the curbside pickup restaurants, I have gone above and beyond to support them. Yeah, I didn't get the quarantine 15. I'm in for the full COVID-19. Okay, I've been working from home, so I'm wearing sweatpants, I'm wearing leggings. Sometimes, if it's a really important meeting, I will put on my dress sweatpants. One day, not too long ago, I had a big problem. I had to wear real pants. It took me 3 times to find a pair of pants that I could wear. So yeah, the time has come for some serious pandemic pound reduction. And, you know, I should be able to wrap my brain around that because, Lord, I have done every diet known to mankind. I've done Jenny Craig, I've done Nutrisystem, I've done Noom, you name it, I've tried them all. Got to be honest, Weight Watchers has been the best. Weight Watchers has different points for different foods. You only get like 20 points a day. An apple, 0 points, so that's cool, you know, it's nice and healthy. A chicken breast is like 2 points, so, you know, that's not bad. A blooming onion from Outback is 43 points. So, you know, this all sounds reasonable. This all sounds, I don't know, for me, it sounds fairly scientific. My husband, you know, being a guy, he's like, what? Why are they doing all these points? Weight loss is energy in, energy out. That's all it is. It's simple. Guys always think weight loss is simple, right? But the thing that he finds most fascinating as far as Weight Watchers is the fact that we talk and we talk and we talk about weight loss without ever mentioning how much we weigh. Never mention a specific number ever. Weight loss, your precise weight, it's guarded, just like a national secret. Like seriously, Biden is finally getting the security briefings. So now President-elect Biden can know my exact weight. In all the years I've gone to Weight Watchers, I've never reached my goal. But the good thing about Weight Watchers is that your doctor's allowed to change your goal, right? So some of the women, they have male doctors and they hear, well, certainly you can reach that number. It just takes a little willpower. Me, I'm lucky. My doctor's a middle-aged woman and she changed my goal twice. So I'm hoping that the third time's a charm. I don't worry about it as much because I'm a Black female. I grew up in West Philly. And,
Yeah.
the Black men, they don't mind if there's a little bit of extra around the middle. You know, it's like you can have this Adonis and you can be like 300-400 pounds. And he'll walk up to you and be like, hey, Slim. So, I'm good with that. I wouldn't mind losing like 20 pounds and getting to Latino poppy sexy. And then, some Latino might come up and he'd be like, hola, mommy, I'm no fun for you. And then I can say, me lavo los dientes. I need to wrap up, so I'll leave you with this. Way back in the day before I got married, you know what? I had lost a ton of weight. I was so thin that a young white guy, a hipster, actually tried to pick me up. And I stayed on that diet even longer. And then an Asian guy was like, ni hao. But I couldn't stay that small. I started eating blooming onions again. So he was like, sayonara, sister. That's all right. The Chisel brothers were still like, hey, Slim. That's my time. Thank you all so much for coming.
Oh my gosh,
I
that
just
was
rolled it.
awesome. I loved it.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Great job. Seriously, great job. It was great seeing you. I'm not gonna stop anything. I'm not gonna stop the momentum. I'm gonna keep it going with your very next comic. Great person. I've seen her on social media posting about this like so much. She's so excited. So I'm super excited to see what she's got because you guys are gonna love it. Please keep it going for Jana Lee Bastar.
All right. So who else thinks that they just lost all their social skills in quarantine?
Oh my god.
And I really didn't have a whole lot to begin with. Like one time somebody coughed and I said, you're welcome. Pretty much the baseline that I've been working with. But I remember being really excited when quarantine first started because I was like, oh yes, when we get out of this, everybody's going to be as socially awkward as me. But you all betrayed me because what actually happened is everybody else pretty much stayed the same and I only further regressed. So now when I'm talking to somebody, not only am I trying to remind myself to like make eye contact and smile, but I'm trying to remember that I can't just fart. Yeah, you spend months just recklessly letting out toots and now I'm just squeezing my cheeks together to like get through a simple conversation. On more than one occasion, I have caught my entire hand down the back of my pants, pushing out a wedgie.
Not the best look when you're in the produce section of Trader Joe's. So maybe you figured this out based on context clues, but I am single. And I do a lot of online dating, and I really hate it because it kind of alters your perception on reality after a while. So I remember at one point I was out and I saw a guy approaching me from across the bar, and I just held up my finger and swiped left. The craziest part about that is he knew and he understood because he just went like, yeah. Yeah, but like I'm getting kind of bitter about dating where I'm at the point where if you can get a text back, I kind of don't even want to know you. But I think a lot of this bitterness and insecurity still stems from high school because I grew up in a really small 1 square mile town. So everybody knew everybody's shit. And there was this one kid, his name is Teddy. And Teddy was hard to miss because he would very often be wearing a samurai suit that he made out of cardboard and duct tape. Yes, I'm not creative enough to make that up, so you have to believe me that he is real. He would wear this to school and to ride his bike around town. Teddy would also flirt with every single girl in school, except for me. Now, you all need to understand that I'm pretty much always one minor away from a mental breakdown. So I did not handle this well. I got to the point where I got jealous of all my friends and people that were being flirted with by this guy that I started to do research on Teddy's interests. You realize how psycho that is? I was doing research to get attention from a guy that I didn't want to go out with. I just really felt like I needed to meet that bare minimum standard so I could know like, oh, I'm not completely hopeless moving forward. So I would stand around in the hallway and just be like, oh, I really need to live my life by the Bushido code. Just like letting out any random buzzwords. And I still could not get this dude to look at me. And I was just like, seppuku. Yeah, so I got rejected by a guy who duct taped a Sean Magay, and you'll remember that I know what this is because I did my research. It is the samurai ponytail. He duct taped that to his bike helmet. Yes. But in retrospect, really the person I'm most jealous of is Teddy because he's so unapologetically loved his interests. He would bear rejection after rejection and just flirt with girls over and over again. I'm still too insecure to wear a crop top in the same week I've eaten spaghetti. But about a year ago, I did run into Teddy. He now has his own Sean Magay for character development, and he has duct taped his cardboard katanas to the back of his bike. But most importantly, he finally hit on me. All I could say at that point was, and now the student has become. All right, that's it for me. Thank you, everybody.
He's to my right. Give it up for Jana. Yes, she did great. Oh, that was so good. I love that Teddy story. I was waiting for people to hear that. I was like, oh my God, I love how much you're trying to pursue this dude. Like, I know nothing. I watched anime and know none of those words. I'm like, she's trying. We're gonna keep this going because we have a lot of show and a lot of great surprises. So I already see the next comic already like getting nervous, but she's gonna be great. This person has been coming to the classes with so many amazing stories that it was really hard to bring it down to 5 minutes. So I think we did a good job of bringing this interesting life to a small computer near you. Keep it going for the really funny Susan Saslow. Keep it going for Susan.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I am Susan. I'm live tonight from my daughter's bedroom because you know we can't go anywhere. And I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited to tell you some of my funny stories. My life is always taking strange turns. I always wonder if there's a camera somewhere watching me. So I really enjoyed this class. I'm really excited to share. I'm a little nervous, but here we go. I'm going to tell you some stuff. I am really lucky. I am not only do I live close to my mom in distance, but we are also close. So we are able to do some really fun things together, exciting things together. And I'm going to tell you about our fun trip that we took with my daughter Lauren to Paris. We got on a plane, and my daughter, my mom, and I, we boarded our plane to Paris, and we settled in for that great transatlantic nap. And as we're asleep and resting comfortably, very excited, a thud on, of course, my aisle. Why not? And I see next to me a very tall man collapsed in the aisle. And it really was a fright. Like at first, there was chaos and what happened, and everyone's silent. Nobody's moving. And they announce, "We need help. Is anyone a doctor? We need a medic. Can anybody help us?" Well, at that point, my mom, as we all love to call her, my mom, Joanne, raises her hand. And she says, my Susan can help." I look at my mom and I said, "We are in the middle of the air. What can I do?" She looks at me and she says, "Susan, you're so good. You're very good. You can help." So they're scrambling around. They come over to my mom and they say, "Yes, you raised your hand. What?" And she points to me and she says, "My Susan can help." Still, I'm like, what is going on? His life is in the balance. You need to move a little faster than this. I can't help him. So in my former life, I was a lab tech. I can do lab work. If this man needs some lab tests run, I'm your gal. But I'm not sure how I can help him. And it was scary. This man collapsed. It's like an episode of Grey's Anatomy. So they come around to me, they put their hand, "I hear you can help." I looked at them and I said, "You need to move a little faster and help this man." Meanwhile, I look over at my mom and she's talking to all the passengers about my Susan and how wonderful she is. So I said to them, if he needs a washcloth on the forehead, a Band-Aid to be tucked in, possibly, an ice cream cone, I'm your gal. But other than that, we really need to get a medic. So yeah, that was really very scary. He was okay. But, to be loved by a mother like that, to think that you're my Susan is very good, was really just a moment. And the mother-child moments are always fun and exciting, and for me come with stuff that I can't even imagine. 4 years ago, my oldest and I took a trip to a wonderful liberal arts college right above Manhattan, right after the last election where Hillary lost. And I visited a school in mourning. We all joined together. They broke us down into groups, and we got placed with this lovely, earthy, unshowered young woman who would take us around school. Well, first she had to explain that school was closed. And school was closed because they had to come together as a community and to support each other. Now, I grew up in the 80s where everything was upspeak. This was vocal fry, like the Kardashians. So she's like, "I'm going to take you around school. I'm going to tell you about our campus. There aren't many students here because we are very much coming together as a community and to support each other, and school is closed." School is closed for 3 days so we can support each other. Well, school is $72,000 a year. I'm thinking to myself, are we going to prorate these 3 days? Are we getting our money back? How is this going to work? No one else seemed to really flinch. We walked along the campus. We talked about trigger words and safe spaces, and my head was just spinning. And I have to wrap up here, but I will end and tell you that we visited a beautiful building, which was the Department of Genocide Studies. And in my day, the building would be donned with a plaque that would tell you who donated the building. But at this school, it was the trigger words were listed. And if these words would trigger you, make you feel upset, or somehow make you feel uncomfortable or upset, you may not want to come on the rest of the tour. The words were Holocaust, genocide, death. Well, that day I learned that my trigger word was $72,000 a year. Decided not to go to that school. That is my time. Thank you very much.
Yay, Susan!
Thank you.
Oh
Love
my
it.
gosh, that was awesome. That was great, Susan. Really, I love.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
You made me great.
You're great, seriously. You have some great stuff. I hope you keep writing, and I hope you do the other stuff you want to do with some writing. But we'll talk about that later on. We're gonna do a little break right now. We're gonna do something really cool. We have a musical guest. This person has been a really good friend of mine since I moved to the Philly area to start comedy myself, and has helped me integrate into it. She's been awesome. During the quarantine, she's actually started an Instagram called Quarantine Costumes, which you should totally check out. It's super funny. She takes suggestions on costumes that you want to see, and they've all been great. She does it from stuff around the house, and it's always a treat. Without further ado, we're gonna hear some music from the amazing Jillian Markowitz. Keep it going for Jillian.
Yay!
Thank you. It's actually quarantine costumes. I thought it would be cute to have it be like a mixture of like quarantine and Halloween, but now everybody just thinks that I'm like a teenager.
A quarantine.
And it's so stupid because it was the beginning of the pandemic. Quarantine costumes was not taken. I was who could know? Anyway, so I've been picking up new skills over quarantine. Also, I've been learning to play the ukulele. I've been playing it on stage for 5 years, but have never learned how to play it before. But I've only had 2 lessons, so it's still not good. So this is a song that I wrote about just, my day to day and every other day for the last 9 months. I spent all day watching Frasier reruns. Didn't even feel good, but I did it anyway. Kelsey Grammer is such a dick. I ignored my mother's phone calls. It didn't even feel good. I feel really bad about it, but I did it anyway. If you have a thing to do that you don't want to do, don't do it. Pretend it's not there. I ate Halo Top ice cream until my pants wouldn't button. It didn't even feel good. It gave me sleep farts. I sprayed Febreze in my underwear instead of washing them. My labia, but I did it anyway. If you feel that you don't want to feel, conceal it. Pretend it's not there. I ignore the news so that I don't have to gain perspective on what true suffering actually looks like. Neither would watching the news, so I do it anyway. I'm bogged down in my own bullshit. It doesn't even feel good. Nevertheless, here we are. I noticed that over quarantine, a lot of people are quarantining together, shacking up, taking their relationships to the next level, which I think is stupid. Because if you move in with somebody during a pandemic, that is not like a step forward in your relationship. You're forming a death pact with that person. If you want a death pact with them, you should just get married. Anyway, I wrote a song about this. Being a person is hard sometimes. None of us knows what to do. We push and we strive to try to feel alive, and we fall into our own spaces. If you feel like you can't win, try nature's Vicodin, one dose of falling in love. You lost your job and you're feeling quite lost. You wanted fulfillment, but there was a cost, and you can't pay the price. Why wax existential or reach your potential? Just reach for falling in love. Your father left you when you were a kid. Now you're in therapy, working through it. Process in your emotions. Why should you talk through the demons that haunt you? Let's talk about falling in love. Turns out your favorite stores use child labor for everything that you wear. And you're feeling conflicted. Ethics are man-made. Try my favorite Band-Aid and stick on some falling in love. Being a person is hard sometimes. You might not know just what to try. Emotions are hard and the world is a garbage fire piled on a shit heap. So let's snuggle while we wait to die. Thank you.
Wow. Is it back to me? I don't think we rehearsed this
If
part.
you want, I can do more.
No, it's fine. We'll see you later. We'll see you later in the show for sure. Give it up for Jillian.
Yay!
We didn't rehearse that part. All right. That was great. I love that. I hadn't heard that second song. Is it new? Can I interview you real quick? Is that a new John?
No, it's not new. I just I don't know if I've ever played it in a show before. I've been sitting on it for a minute, but it felt like the right time in history.
Loved it. That was so great. Love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to keep it going. You guys ready for some more of your friends, family, classmates? You guys ready for some more stand-up? Come on, let me get a little. Yeah. This next dude, he's become a class act, man. You know, he has a voice of his own already, which is really cool. Somebody to come in already know who they want to be, and I was very happy to just help him, kind of just direct them a little bit. Keep it going for your next comic, Jersey.
All right. Yeah. I swear to God, I'm coming to you live, and it's not from Susan's daughter's bedroom. I'll try that one more time.
That would be creepy.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hey, seriously, before we get going with comedy, I do have a little public service announcement, so I just gotta mention this. This is the time of year. It's getting cold outside. There's things trying to get in your house, little animals, all kinds of critters, insects, and you want to be careful because ticks are the worst of these things. And you got woodland ticks, you got deer ticks. Worst of all, you got politics. And this is really bad. So you see what I did there, politics. We call that in the comedy biz, we call that wordplay. I said that when I got married once. I was dating this girl. I said, hey, I like the little things like that. I like wordplay. And she goes, wordplay? You're a fucking pervert. Pervert. So she was right, by the way. But it had nothing to do with the word. Nothing to do with the word. I realized I had to date smarter women at that point. So that's when I ended up finding my wife and getting married. But seriously, politics really bad this year. I hear the ticks are bad. They're orange. They're 300 pounds. Watch out. They'll get into your house. But seriously, I don't want this season to go unnoticed, because one thing that's fantastic about the election being over is that the commercials are done. No more freaking political commercials. Can I get a hand for that? Chevy Truck Month in my freaking life. That is Chevy Truck Month. All right. But no, seriously, I did really just enjoy the fact that now that the election is over, and I don't know if anyone's heard this. You may not have heard about it. It's definitely something it's going to be on the news tomorrow. Mexico has announced that they are going to pay for the wall. So not only are they paying for it, they're saying they're going to build it. And apparently it's to keep Trump the fuck out. They don't want that guy swimming across the Rio Grande. So like, he's trying to get. You can just picture this guy swimming across the Rio Grande, orange makeup running down his face, got like this one strand of bleach blonde hair that's like dragging behind him like a tow rope on a motorboat. They don't want him in the country, so they're building the wall. Hey, when I start talking politics, a lot of times people are just like, you know what, politics, I'm not into politics. And I'm like, you know what, politics isn't just about people, it's about ideas. So if you think about all the problems the world's got and you got ideas, you like politics and you just don't even know it yet. So I decided, you know what, big ideas is where it's at. So what do I mean by big ideas? Let me explain it to you. So I decided I'm going to think about some problem the world has, and I'll start small, like with peace in the Middle East. So I got a problem. We're going to hear it here tonight. We're going to solve it right here. You didn't think it was going to happen, but we're going to solve peace in the Middle East on Zoom tonight. So basically, what we're going to do, we're grabbing Netanyahu. We're grabbing all the people from Israel in the cabinet. We're going to bring them into a big banquet room, right? Then we're going to grab all the people from the Palestinian leadership, Abbas. We're grabbing them. We're bringing them in. We're locking the door. Click, lock the door. All right, so now we get them good and hungry. We leave them there for like 3 days, no food. We leave them there for like 3 days. All of a sudden, we bring in these steaming trays. We take the cover off, bacon. Nothing but bacon, okay? So that's all they got to eat. So now they're pissed because they're like, it's not kosher. It's like, everybody's pissed off. But who are they pissed at? They're not pissed at each other. They're pissed at the catering. So now, Jimmy is my friend, right? So they're all pissed at the catering. This guy, unfortunately, he's gonna die. But hey, it's one guy. One guy. We're gonna let him go. I feel bad for it, but that's the thing. All right. So big ideas. That's exactly the kind of thing. And one other type of big idea. I got a friend, and he didn't understand why blackface was offensive. And at first I was kind of like, you know what? I'm a little pissed off about that. And then I realized, you know what? It's not offensive. Let him go ahead and wear blackface. One catch though. I get to tell him when he takes it off. So he's like, blackface. Whoa, look at me. Hey, I got a job interview. Can I go to the job interview? I'm taking can't take the blackface off. You're going to the job interview with the blackface. Oh, okay. Well, I got a police car pulling me over. I'm taking the blackface off. Nah, you're not taking the blackface off. Next thing you know, he's like, hey, you know what? I don't have a job and I got a police record. I don't got any money. I'm thinking about robbing a liquor store. And I said, you better take that shit off. This is about my time. I got to go get some bacon. And you didn't think that the jokes were funny. Check your internet connection. Probably your provider.
Hey, he's right. Third time was the charm. Jersey Mark, everybody. That was awesome. Oh, I love it. We have a 3 comics left, and then we got some a little more surprise at the end. But I'm gonna bring up your next comic. This next person coming up, I had to say this. I consider myself a hood boy. I'm from the hood. I grew up in the hood. This kid actually went to the same high school as me. We're both hood kids. We both came out of it. We're both trying to follow our dream in some way. So I'm very proud of him for taking this class and for still being my friend after all these years, man. So I'm very proud to bring up one of my really, really good friends in life. Keep it going for Jorge.
Hey everyone, how's it going? So, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Che. You guys have been wonderful. I've learned so much from the class, and I'm just like so happy to put it into use. Now, friends, what I just did was running the clock. That's one thing I run the clock. Some people might say, oh, George, why are you taking a comedy class? Is it for attention? Maybe. I have a lot of attention that I need a lot of attention.
Move this back to here.
of the parents I grew up with. My parents, they're amazing people. I love them to death. They're really nice. They care about me, but they're selfish. I mean, like they really do love me. They care about me. They call me every day, but they only think about themselves for the most part. And then they think about me and other people. And one thing that comes to mind is this past summer, it was my birthday on June 25th, and my mother was adamant about me coming over so that she could wish me a happy birthday. And I'm just like, okay, me and my wife, we were about to go to Montauk for the weekend. And like, oh, let's pass by my parents' house. I'm like walking into the driveway and I see balloons. I see my parents, I see my aunts, and I see Gigi, my parents' tenant that lived upstairs in the second floor. And apparently me and Gigi share the same birthday, and they were actually celebrating Gigi's birthday on my birthday. Literally, Gigi moved in 6 months, and she has gotten more birthday celebrations than I have gotten in the many years that I've been their son. I'm 33 years old. And I'm just like, you know what? Happy birthday, Gigi. Good for you. Happy birthday. Am I mad at my parents? I'm not mad. But they, like I said before, they just think about themselves. And now you're thinking, how is it that some people as selfless as your parents who would throw a birthday party for a woman that they just met 6 months ago, how are they selfish and only think about themselves? Let's think about it. It's a pandemic and they have nothing else to do. So what do? They throw a birthday party for Gigi. And that's why my parents only think about themselves. And I'm married, and my wife and I, I've like being since I met her, I've actually met her parents, and they're such nice people, and they're like kind of like they're the dichotomy of my parents. Basically, they're very thoughtful. Like when I'm sick, they'll like call me to see how I'm doing, and like for my birthday, they actually get me like birthday cards with like and they like stuff it with $40 in it. Pretty nice. And they're really like wonderful people, and I love them to death. And interesting enough, they're Trump supporters. I mean, not that interesting. They live in Long Island, in Sayville, like one of the whitest towns you will ever meet. It's like Irish Catholic, and then very, very, very like very, very little diversity after that. And my in-laws, my father-in-law, he likes to remind me that he voted for Obama twice, but he voted for Donald Trump. And it's so interesting that my wife, she marries me, who I'm outspoken, and I'm definitely way less thoughtful than her parents, and she's very thoughtful, by the way. My wife is extremely thoughtful. Like she sends gifts for like my family when it's their birthday, and I'm like, what? We don't do that. and let me think. And my parent, and it's so funny that she married me, and I talk politics. They don't really talk politics. They're very, very conservative people, and it's funny that for like her grandmother's 90th birthday, we huddle up, and like all of her family members, they're all very Republican, and I'm not Republican, and right when we're about to say cheese for the family picture at her grandmother's 90th birthday, what do I decide to yell? It's 2016, so of course I yell Hillary Clinton. Picture. And it turned out well. It turned out to be a nice family photo. I still have like kind of PTSD from like 2016, by the way. I think that a lot of us have PTSD. Some people don't, obviously, because they're happy that Donald Trump won. But like, do you guys remember the song, Hillary Clinton's song, "Rise Up"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Well, on more than one occasion, I've had mental breakdowns at like commercials when like it just plays over the microphone, and that is my time, guys.
Give it go for George. Oh my gosh.
Sure.
Yeah, it's funny because actually Walmart's the only place I hear music nowadays. So I do have like breakdowns or start dancing at Walmart because it's the closest thing to a club these days. Yeah, keep it going for George one more time, guys. Keep it going for George. That was awesome. Oh my gosh. We still have a lot of show, but we have the final student of the night. Are you guys ready for the final student of the night? Come on, I need the most applause. I'm not gonna give like a long rant because I just want him to get to his thing because it's always so great to watch him. He's been
So good.
He's been already touring around the country because every time he comes on screen, he's in a different location in a different city, which has been fucking amazing. Please give it going for your next comic, your student, my really great person, Charles Gushu. Keep it going to Charles.
Hey, thank you all. Before I get started, I just really need to say that at 4 minutes, if I randomly switch topics, just know, and you don't understand what's happening in like the last minute, just know that like I cut a bunch of shit and just jumped ship so I could get to the ending because I'm learning new things all the time. And one of the things that I learned today is that most people, most Zoom comedians, put it on gallery view, and I usually just watch myself. That's normally fine, except for that, I don't know if you know, but at 4 minutes we get like a light waved at us, and I always miss it. And no one told me that, that there are ways that I could prevent that from happening. I think they just assumed that like, I'm the kind of person who's gonna take more than their time, you know what I mean? Yeah, you might have noticed I'm a little bit different than anyone else in class. I'm a white guy. And I've always been keenly aware of being a white guy. For example, I feel very lucky actually that I came into contact with like the idea of my whiteness really early. It really has shaped the way that I think I see and move through the world. For example, the summer between middle school and high school, super magical, important time. Oh, I just realized I forgot to set a timer for myself. Okay, anyways, see, ADHD. I'm always missing time. There it goes again. Anyways, so I'm in middle school theater camp and I get cast in these really, really white roles. Triple cast and very white roles in the final production. First, I play like a cop. I'll do my best cop impression now. There, put that candy back. I'm not very convincing authority figure. Next, I do think I did a little bit better job with my second part because I love freedom. And I played a soldier in the Civil War. It was very much like, we should secede. The North is trying to take our freedoms. Have you noticed that like white guys complain the most about their freedom being taken? Like, okay, Bob, you're half naked, eating half a hamburger with half a gun hanging out the window, driving down 84. I think you've got enough freedom. The last role I played was arguably like the whitest role. I mean, like white. And it was a bus driver. I know what you're thinking. Anyone could be a bus driver, but not this bus driver. I was the bus driver of the 1955 Cleveland Avenue line. And my part went a little something like this. Hello. That's what I imagine a bus driver's accent in 1950s from Alabama sounds like. Hello. I open the door of my bus. A nice woman walks up to pay her fare. She looks behind me. She looks confused and agitated, what I call a Karen face. I look behind me and I am disappointed and frustrated. I turn and I say, Rosa Parks, move to the back of the bus. I played the bus driver who tries to kick Rosa Parks out of her seat. I mean, I maybe should have mentioned that this was a civil rights camp and I was the only white kid. So probably also explains the triple casting. I actually told this joke to my dad, and he said, "Didn't you also play a misogynist who kept asking his wife Nadine to make him a sandwich?" "Yes, I did, Dad. Thank you." Just a reminder of the other ways in which I'm horrible, or I play. Anyways, but it was really great. And, you know, in the end, there was like a big, you know, everyone's singing "We Shall Overcome." Everyone's cheering. Oh, 4 minutes. I got to switch to the next thing.
What is happening?
Charles, is he wearing pants?
Yes, Petra. Yes, Petra.
Best use of a minute.
I think so.
Anyways, the part of my jokes that you missed were about my sexuality. It's heterosexual. I like to say heterosensual, though. That's my time. Thank you all so much. It's been so much fun. Thanks.
You were going for Charles. Oh my God. And all my students. Oh, I love you all. I want to hug you all. You were all amazing. Oh, great job. Oh, that was so great. Please keep it going one more time for all the students and oh.
Thank you, Che.
We're not done yet. Before we're gonna, but they were amazing. So I want to give them a moment for themselves to breathe. You guys were great. You followed a dream during this chaotic time. This is it. Please, seriously, before you think of anything else, just cherish this moment because you're following a dream, and I'm so proud of you. Seriously. We have 2 things left, and then I will dismiss you guys. I'm still on teacher mode. We'll dismiss.
I know, right?
Look at me. It's been 8 weeks.
Let me know when we can get up.
Yeah, but we have another comic coming up. This comedian, she's actually she took the producing class here at the show at the school off mic, and she is helping us tonight produce the show, highlight people, and did so much work with
how these people are all making comments.
And sorry, I know so was and everything, but I'm very proud to have her. She actually produces a monthly show called "Is It Hot in Here?" and you can find it on Instagram at Hot in Here Comedy. Please keep it going for Trish Sullivan. Keep it going for Trish.
Yeah.
Woo!
First of all, everybody, give it up for Che for just being a great host and a great teacher. You can judge a teacher by his students, and I think you guys were just amazing today. And really, thank you guys for having me follow right after Charles. So welcome to day 270 of my personal quarantine. But don't worry, I'm fine, okay? I'm fine. Fine. I've learned a lot of things during quarantine, and I want to share some of that with you right now. I've learned that you can be both agoraphobic and claustrophobic, just a little germophobic. So I got that. And I've noticed a lot of people talking about should I take a bath? Should I take a shower, and how the struggles they're having with showers and bathing. And I just want to say this: if you don't remember the last time you took a shower or a bath, it is time for you to take a shower or a bath. You're gonna get a rash, and you smell bad. So just do that. One of the other things that I have learned during quarantine is that I've noticed this more than learned it. Most of the countries that have done the best with COVID are the countries that have women as leaders.
Yes.
Iceland, Germany, but New Zealand is incredible. They've had 2,000 cases and 125 deaths all since March. The state of Illinois, I live in Chicago. The state of Illinois had 15,000 cases and 145 deaths like last Tuesday. So I think that there's a little problem. So I have decided that we really need more women in leadership. Therefore, I'm volunteering to be queen. But first, I'm going to take care of COVID. And when we get that under control and this vaccine mess straightened out, I'm going to put a few decrees in place. And my first decree is regarding avocados. From now on, when you go into a store, avocados will be in one of 3 bins. Ready today, ready in 2 days, ready in 4 days. Because with avocados, you're never really 100% sure what you're going to get. They're kind of like men. They're either too hard or too soft, and there's this like 15-minute window when they're just perfect. And if you miss that, you're screwed. Or not screwed, depending on the age of the guy. And the other decree that I'm going to put in place is really simple. Your diet should be seen and not heard. Nobody cares what you're eating. Nobody knows what keto is except for you. Nobody wants to know. I know your diet makes you feel good about yourself, and that's great. You know what makes me feel good? Masturbating. I promise, I won't tell you how often I'm changing the batteries in my vibrator if you'll stop talking about your personal relationship with kale. So, as somebody else said earlier tonight, Gianna said earlier tonight, surprisingly enough, I'm single. And I have 2 sisters who are married. One's married to a guy named Biff. And the other is married to a guy named Spike. No shit. My brothers-in-law are 1980s movie villains. According to family tradition, I can't get remarried unless I find a guy with a really stupid nickname. So if you know any Skips or Trays or Buzzies, keep them the hell away from me. I'm Queen Trish. You have a great night. Oh, you can't.
Hey, keep it going for Trish.
Hey.
Yeah. In Spanish culture, barbuena is a common bully. So I know a couple of barbuenas if you want to know any Spanish bullies. Right. Keep it going for Trish, man. That was great. I loved seeing that. That was awesome. We're almost at the end of the show. We have a special way to close it out. We have more music by Jillian Markowitz. She's gonna do a little more music, and then yeah. So let's keep it going one more time for the musical sounds of Jillian Markowitz. Let's keep it going for Jillian.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back just to kind of hold you captive after you've already seen your friends. I'm gonna take my sweet ass time too. No, I'm not. But I do want to say these sets have all been amazing, and I hope that you're all really, really proud of yourselves and you treat yourselves to something nice tonight because you deserve it. But I knew it was gonna be good because Che is like my favorite comic in the world. So.
Woo!
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was here. I didn't miss any of that.
I guess we could have like a round of applause for Che real quick. He's hosting, so we can
Jay.
My Cash App is no.
His Cash App it no. So I don't have it memorized. So anyway, so I will. Now it's gonna be quick. Just 2 songs. One's long, one's short. This first one. Okay, so I have some intimacy problems. I have problems with relationships. Some people think I'm difficult. I don't know. I have really bad ADD, and it's hard for me to like stay present with another person. So this song is about that. You pull me closer into you. I feel your warmth and my heart turns to goo. And that faraway look is in my eye. You me what I'm thinking, I reply. I'm thinking about stupid bullshit. I couldn't live without it. I love my stupid bullshit. I hate myself for loving my stupid bullshit. Listicles about celebrity stretch marks. The time I saw that couple fucking in Central Park. Whether that pube I found was gray or blonde. Am I going gray in my pubic hair? Whether Sean Connery can still be my favorite James Bond. Probably not. I know he's dead, but domestic violence is really bad. I'm thinking about stupid bullshit. I couldn't live without it. I love my stupid bullshit. I hate myself for loving my stupid bullshit. Every time I answered hello with fine, and you? Whether I shrunk my pants or my ass grew, I probably just shrunk them in the size. Did your ex-girlfriend buy you that shirt? Who dumped who? Are you still feeling hurt? You're allowed to feel hurt. I'm not friend. I'm kind of friend. I'm thinking about stupid bullshit. I couldn't live without it. I love my stupid bullshit. I hate myself for loving my stupid bullshit. You ask me to be present with you now. But are we fighting? And if so, is it pronounced row or row? I think that row is like the English pronunciation. Sorry, I'm not who you thought I was. Sorry if you can't be with me because I'm thinking about stupid bullshit. I couldn't live without it. I love my stupid bullshit. I hate myself for loving my stupid bullshit. I choose bullshit. So I just want to close on, it's short, painless. I want to close on something more uplifting. How does it go again? Does anyone know how my songs go?
Something about bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah, let's just do that one again. Let's do the whole thing again. It wasn't long enough.
Rounds.
There we go. We got it. We're good. We're rolling. You have a little tickle in your throat, but you can't get a test because you don't have a doctor's note. And the question continues to plague your mind. Is it allergies or are you gonna kill your family? Allergies have the potential to kill your family. Are you a hypochondriac or are you someone who could kill your family? Stay safe.
Stay safe. Keep it going for Jillian Markowitz. Oh my gosh. One more round of applause for all of our performers tonight. Everybody was awesome. I had so much fun. This is awesome. Before we get out of here, I want to give it to the president, CEO, creator of my comedy. I want to give it right back to her. And it was my pleasure hosting for you guys. That's been me. Let's give it back for Christina Levis real quick. Let's get back to her.
Oh my God, everyone did such an amazing job. I did actually tear up a little bit at multiple points because I'm so proud of all of you. Jillian, you made the show amazing. It was everything was perfect. So please, one last plea to the students to leave a Facebook review. We really appreciate it. And everyone else, just follow us. That's all we ask. Follow us on social, Off Mic Comedy School on Instagram, same thing on Facebook. And this recording will be available in like 2 days on our YouTube, just for the paid folks and the students. So we don't want to distribute too widely because you paid to be here. You deserve the recording, so you'll get to watch all of this fun back again. Follow us. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. All for coming and listening.
Thank you.
I will take it personally.
Congratulations. Throat tickles.
Tip your bartenders and waitresses.